What up, YouTube? Timmers here. Now, since this month, I'm doing my reviews for past October films, and since I actually just got back from watching the original Dracula film with Bela Lugosi and theirs, so now the original Dracula film is not the only Dracula movie. It's not the first time I saw a Dracula movie in the month of October. The last time I saw a Dracula movie in the month of October was back in October 10th, 2014, and that was the Luke Evans led film Dracula Untold. Now, you guys might remember this was supposed to be like the movie that really is supposed to jumpstart this Munster universe. Because if you guys remember what they were planning to do, they were planning to do like a whole Munster shared universe. I believe they called it the Dark Universe, where they were supposed to do like what they did with the Avengers by pretty much set like bring the iconic movie monsters into one, like Dracula, Frankenstein. They tried to do with the Mummy, that sort of fell. They were trying to set this whole like action, so like make these type of horror characters pretty much action centric. Don't do that. Do not make a Dracula movie action centric, or even I did not mind the Mummy movie, so maybe I should say too much about the Mummy, but I say one thing: don't like Dracula Untold. Sad to say, really rely in more the action territory than the horror territory. I mean, Dracula. When I want to see Dracula on screen, I want to see him vicious. I want to see him like straight up horror. I want to see him like as how Bela Lugosi was, or Gary Oldman. Like Dracula is supposed to be straight up horror, not a straight up action guy. Here you of course have now, if you guys don't really know much about this story, you got Luke Evans who plays Vlad the Third, and it takes place in like 15th century Transylvania. And so Luke Evans is Vlad the Third is the prince of Wallachia, and he is also known as just a ruler. And he also has a beloved wife, Marina, played by Sarah Godin. And he is like very broken, a prologue period of peace, and is very ensured that his people are very protected. And so from the and so of course from the Ottoman Emperor, here you got Sultan Mohammed II, played by Dominic Cooper, who commands thousands of the country boys, including Vlad's son, for this army. And so pretty much you got Vlad who's trying to make a deal with a monster that he will enable him and defeat the Turks here. I mean, this movie is just. I was so disappointed with this. I mean, I thought the trailers actually looked good. I actually really didn't mind the trailers, but I remember watching this thing in theaters. I'm like, this was so disappointing. I love Luke Evans, but he really did not fit this character at all. You also did have other intriguing cast members, like you had Art Parkinson, you had Charles Dance. Zach McGowan was also in this, but sad to say, this thing was supposed to start a whole new universe, like supposed to be, I guess you could say, the Iron Man of the Munster universe. But sad to say, it was not so good at all. It was so boring. Some of the action wasn't so good. The acting was just not so great. The writing was terrible. I mean, between this and the Mummy, which I like the Mummy film, but even I will say that should have been more horror centric than action centric. I was still, like these movies, you gotta make them horror centric. That's what I love when they did with the Invisible Man. Like when Blumhouse came out with the Invisible Man last year, he was like, this is what fans, of course, Fox should see that, and they were like, this is what we want from these movie monsters. Now they are really finally listening. We are getting more films in, Universal is doing more actual straight up horror of these monsters. I don't know if they'll actually ever do a cinematic universe or anything like that. But, they are, of course, doing a Wolfman movie with Ryan Gosling. There's also I believe they're still doing like a Bride Frankenstein film. They got a Renfeld film. If you guys don't know, Renfeld is, of course, the servant of Dracula. They're doing that. Paul Feig doing a Dark Army movie. I mean, we are getting more of these horror, these, iconic movie monsters that we do love, but they are actually saying them as horror-centric, which I think is perfect. You gotta have these horror-centric. Don't make Dracula an action hero. Don't make Frankenstein an action hero. Like, keep it straight up horror, you know? And yeah, I mean, another thing, like, I believe this movie was PG-13 too. How can you can't have Dracula? Like, Dracula's a bit too vicious, you know? But that aside, yeah, Satchel, I really want to like this movie too because it was Luke Evans. I like the cast of it looked pretty cool, but sad to say, this movie was a bit disappointing. So yeah, I can't really recommend this movie at all. I mean, yeah, I believe in the same year we had not one but two iconic movie monsters in a different universe. Like you had that I Frankenstein movie and Dracula Untold, and sadly both films were horrible. So yeah. Anyway, let me leave with you guys. Have you ever watched Dracula Untold? If so, what's the door of it? Were you a fan of it? Were you not a fan of it? Uh, drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notification. This is Simu signing off.